If you've ever felt stuck, putting off your dreams until tomorrow, you're not alone. Hit the like button and subscribe to see how small changes can lead to monumental transformations. In the serene community of Whisperwind Downs, 19-year-old Quentin Hollis Croft wrestled with a profound inertia. Despite sharp intelligence and vivid dreams, he was widely seen as lazy. His true battle was internal, a war against procrastination. "I'll do it tomorrow," was his silent mantra, leaving books untouched, his room chaotic, and aspirations distant. His grades plummeted, and with them, his self-assurance. He often questioned his inability to change under the night sky, finding no answers. One evening, his mother, her concern etched on her face, pleaded with him. "Quentin," she said, her voice soft but firm, "each squandered day is a burden that will eventually crush you." Quentin, however, dismissed her worries, convinced a day's delay was inconsequential. Unknown to him, a pivotal turning point was near. Quentin's father, a quiet man who usually let his wife take the lead, felt a growing ache watching his son drift. He knew Quentin wasn't truly lazy, but something held him captive. One afternoon, after another strained silence at the dinner table, he made a decision. He called Silas Thorne, a revered 72-year-old elder in Whisperwind Downs, whose home, the Sage Alcove, was known as a sanctuary of wisdom. Silas had a reputation for steering young people back onto their paths. A few days later, Quentin reluctantly accompanied his father to the Sage Alcove. It was a cozy space, filled with the scent of old books and faint incense, shelves brimming with artifacts and stories. Silas, with his neat white hair and deep-set, kindly brown eyes, greeted them with a soft smile. After a brief, awkward exchange, Quentin's father explained the predicament, his voice laced with concern. Silas listened intently, his calm gaze occasionally drifting to Quentin, who was trying to disappear into the armchair. When his father finished, Silas turned fully to Quentin. "You have a habit, young man," Silas observed, his voice calm, yet resonating with an unspoken understanding. "A habit of putting things off." Quentin shifted, his cheeks flushing. "Tomorrow, you say? But tomorrow, Quentin, never truly comes as tomorrow. It always arrives as today." Silas then reached for a small, unglazed clay jar from a nearby shelf and a handful of smooth gray pebbles. He placed them on the table between them. "Each morning, for the next 30 days, you are to place one of these pebbles in this jar. But only after you have completed your most important task for the day. If you fail, the jar remains empty. Return to me in 30 days. Quentin looked at the jar, then at the pebbles, a knot forming in his stomach. The simplicity of it seemed almost insulting, yet the quiet challenge in Silas's eyes was undeniable. He took the jar and the pebbles home. That evening, the weight of his usual inertia felt heavier than ever. But Silas's words echoed. Tomorrow never truly comes as tomorrow. It always arrives as today. He stared at his untouched textbook, then at the jar. With a sigh, he forced himself to sit, to open the book. He studied for a full hour, the concepts slowly beginning to click. When he finally closed the book, a strange sense of accomplishment settled over him. He picked up a pebble, its coolness a stark contrast to the warmth now spreading through him. He dropped it into the clay jar. Clink. The sound was small, yet it resonated with an unexpected satisfaction, a whisper of possibility in his chaotic world. This routine, marked by some days of success and others of failure, would define the next month. You carry the small clay jar and the handful of smooth, gray pebbles back to your room in Whisperwind Downs. The weight of your usual inertia settles on you, heavier than ever, as evening descends. You stare at your untouched textbook, then at the simple jar, feeling the knot tighten in your stomach. Silas's calm voice echoes in your mind. Tomorrow never truly comes as tomorrow. It always arrives as today. The words gnaw at you, chipping away at your ingrained habit. With a sigh that feels too deep for a 9-8-year-old, you force yourself to sit at your desk. You open the book, the familiar feeling of dread slowly replaced by a faint hum of curiosity as the concepts, for the first time in what feels like ages, slowly begin to click. An hour passes, a genuine hour of focused study, something you haven't managed in months. When you finally close the book, a strange, quiet sense of accomplishment washes over you. It's not elation, but a solid, steady satisfaction you haven't felt in a long time. You pick up one of the pebbles. Its coolness in your palm is a stark contrast to the quiet warmth now spreading through you. You drop it into the clay jar. Clink. The sound is small, almost imperceptible, yet it resonates deeply. It's a whisper of possibility in the chaos of your mind, a tangible mark of a day not entirely squandered. This humble routine, with its inevitable mix of successes and failures, would come to define your next month, pebble by pebble. You wake the next morning, the cool weight of the clay jar, a silent reminder on your bedside table. The single pebble within it seems to mock and encourage you simultaneously. The first few days are a struggle, a push against years of ingrained habits. Some mornings, you find yourself staring blankly at your textbook, the weight of a looming assignment feeling too heavy, and the jar remains empty. The quiet absence of the clink feels heavier than any burden your mother ever described. Then come the days of breakthrough. You set your alarm earlier, a tiny victory in itself. You dedicate 45 minutes to your history essay, or finally tackle the mountain of laundry that has consumed a corner of your room for weeks. Each time, the pebble feels earned, its smooth surface a testament to a battle won.
So bite with the fat on the way like
A small drum of discipline beginning to form a rhythm in your life in Whisper Wind Downs. There are still days of failure, days when the lure of your screen or the comfort of sleep proves too strong. You see the untouched jar, the stack of pebbles, and the guilt is a dull ache, but those days no longer define the entire week. Slowly, incrementally, the successes begin to outweigh the failures. The initial dread of opening your